Shalom Akim, all praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh by Shem Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Akim out there doing this work in truth and sincerity, enduring enduring the hell that you're catching, fellow laborers, as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai, because that's what we're called. We're called to be good soldiers of Yahweh Shai unto the end. Now, the Spirit jumped on me just to do a quick lesson, just a few minutes if the Spirit be willing. Going into Proverbs, the 22nd chapter, the 28th verse. So yeah, let me just read it real quick. It says, "Remove not the ancient landmark which thy fathers have set." Now, I've been meditating on this scripture for a while. I came across it again. So pretty much, Esau, the so-called white man, as you should know today, the so-called white man is Esau. He's broken every law in the scriptures, and one of the laws of the scriptures where you're not supposed to remove the ancient landmark. All right, there's borders and barriers set up that the Most High created for each nation. All right, the nation of Israel, we had our own land. All right, the Lord gave Esau his land. He gave him the land of Edom. All right, he gave the Moabites the land of Moab, Ammon, Japhet, okay, and so on and so forth. Now, the so-called white man, being the devil, being the adversary towards the Israelites, towards the Most High, everything that's right, everything that's righteous, he's in total opposition against it to destroy it. Okay, he has done this. Furthermore, he's in a land that's not his, America. Okay, America, the 10 tribes, they came over here, all right, and to be in this land, all right, and the so-called white man came and took it over. Now he's telling the Mexicans to get out of the land. He's deporting the Haitians. Okay, he's deporting the El Salvadorians. Okay. When he didn't honor any of these laws in the Bible. Now this is Micah 2, and I'll start at 1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds." Okay, this is talking about the elites, because the elite of this society are the ones who really make the policies, the ones that really make things happen, not your so-called everyday so-called white person or Edomite. All right, though they're low level, they're of a low stock. Let me read it again. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity," that plan of iniquity. Or they already knew that the 10 tribes were over here. The tribe of Gad, Reuben, okay, Issachar, going down to South America, okay, Central and South America. They knew about Jake in Canada, Gad in Canada, okay, the different islands, Hispaniola, all right. Esau knew about all these things when Cristobal Colon came over to the shores of America. Okay, when he came into these different islands, he had a Hebrew interpreter for the sole purpose of dealing with the indigenous people, all right, to backstab them and kill them, and to do the work of pretty much the devil. It says, "And work evil upon their beds. When it is morning, and when the morning is light, they practice it." Because it is in the power of their hands. Yeah, that's right, because they have the power right now to do so. They have the power to push forth wickedness in the planet Earth. And then they have the power to come over to America and steal the lands, and then go throughout the four corners of the earth and occupy these different lands. All right. But primarily, they were the Edomites were after us, after the nation of Israel. And according to Psalms, the 83rd chapter, they were all these other nations were in league one with each other, because in a transatlantic slave trade, you have the Arabs and you have the Hamites, the Africans, that came against us with one consent. Okay, to take Israel's name, to make Israel's name be no more. Okay, it says, "And they covet fields." Now in the scriptures and the law, it says, "Thou shalt not covet." Okay. But you know what? Let me bring that scripture out real quick. Because the so-called white man, he likes to say, "Oh, we're we're God-fearing people, you know, the 10 Commandments, this and that and this. Well, in the 10 Commandments, it tells you not to covet your neighbor, anything that your neighbor has. Okay, and you know, let's get the definition of covet. All right, let's just get the definition of covet. To desire, covet, to take pleasure in, delight in, to desire, to be desirable, to delight greatly, greatly desire. Okay, kamar. I want to say that. Kamad. Kamad. That's the word kamad. All right, in the Hebrew. It means to desire, to covet, to take pleasure in, to delight in. All right, so if your neighbor, which you call us your neighbor, you call us your brother. Okay, if your brother has something, you're not supposed to take delight or pleasure in it with the intent to take it away from him. All right, because that's directly from the Lord. The Lord gave him that substance, and you having that evil eye towards your brother to take things from him. All right, that's coveting. All right, and that's directly in the law. That's something that you're not supposed to do. It says, "Thou shalt not." And this is the so-called last. This is the 10th commandment. All right, so-called last 10th commandment, which there's many commandments. All right. It says, verse 17. It says, "Thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not desire with the intent to take thy neighbor's house." All right, and you did that. You came to the shores of America, and you took your neighbor's house. Okay. The North American Indians, the tribe of Gad, the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Issachar, the tribe of Naphtali, the tribe of Ephraim, the tribe of Manasseh, the tribe of Zebulun, the tribe of Asher. All right, and you did the same thing to the southern kingdom. All right, and you're occupying in their land, our land, right now. Okay, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. All right, and that goes for all the tribes. That's our original land. So you covet. You have the desire to take, you have that desire and that evil eye to take your neighbor's house. It says, "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife," and you did the same thing. We have our woman. You covet our woman, all right, and you still have her under your possession to this day. Nor his maidservant, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. You see that? So anything that's your neighbor's, what you like to call us your neighbor, you like to call us your brother. But you never show forth any of the traits of being your neighbor or being your brother, right? And to prove that, okay, let's go into another scripture real quick. I believe it's Romans 10. Not Romans. Let me see. It says, this is Romans 13:10. It says, "Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is fulfilling the law." Love is the fulfilling of the law. So going back into Exodus, if you loved us as your neighbor, you would have never done this. Okay? You would have never covet. You would have never covet our possessions. All right? And you covet us as servants. You took everything away from us. This is going towards you so-called white people, you elite. Because really, this is all about the elite. Because two-thirds of our people, they don't know what the hell is going on. So this, according to Ephesians 6:9, we're in a spiritual battle with wickedness in high places. Talking about the Illuminati, okay, talking about the elite banking families, the elite of the so-called white man, the elite of Esau, primarily Amalek, okay, with a direct opposition against the elite or the elect of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, because we're the only ones that are bringing out all these different things that you have done to our people. And one of those things was, let me come back up here in Proverbs 22:28. It was to remove not the ancient landmark. The Lord, he set up landmarks. He set up inheritances for different nations. Okay, he set up us as an inheritance in the land of Israel. All right, and then he gave the different tribes, you know, here in America, different parts of the land, which we know this is all spiritual because this land was set up to be destroyed. Nevertheless, that didn't give you a pretext to come over here and be a demon. Okay, let me go back to Micah. This is Micah 2:2 again. It says, and they covet fields. This is talking about the so-called white man. And they take them by violence. And that's exactly what you did. You took them by violence, by the Gatling gun, by your cavalry, by your biological war, your smallpox blankets, the different bugs that you sent upon the nation of Israel to make them sick, to kill them. Just plain out deceit, or shaking their hand and creating alliances and treaties and then breaking them the very next day. All right, okay? And houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. You see that? You oppressed us as a man. You oppressed us by taking our land, by taking our heritage, beating our heritage out of us. Okay? Doing all these things, coveting. All right, the so-called white man is guilty of coveting on the highest extent. Okay? So that shame is going to be brought upon you. All right? And now all your all these things are coming out via the internet. All right? So this is Obadiah 1 and 10. It says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob." So who's Jacob? The Israelites. The ones that you have committed all these crimes against. The ones that you committed these crimes against, and the Most High is angry at you. He's angry at how far you went. He's angry at how you took this land, and you used a sword to do it. You walked all over us like a mat, like a dirty mat. All right, and you still have remnants of that going on today. You had a school teacher, I forget what our state, they were teaching about so-called Black History Month, and they had so-called young Negro kids lay on the floor, and she put her foot on them, saying, "This is how it feels to be a slave." Okay, the so-called white woman. All right, so you're totally guilty of every act of abominations, every act of pretty much going off in the law. Okay, and for that you're going to be judged. It says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever." So you're going to be exterminated because of your violence against us. And you low-level Edomites, you take hand and furthering our affliction. Okay, because you're totally in one with your elite, with the elite of your nation, with Amalek, with the princes, the princes and the kings, all the policies that are being set up to oppress so-called Negroes and Hispanics and Native Americans. All right, you're not standing up, bringing out none of the crimes and atrocities that your people have done. And then when you do, you try to act like you're oppressed right along with them. Well, that's prophecy also, because the scriptures say, if Satan be divided against Satan, how shall his kingdom stand? So even within your power structure, the so-called white man's power structure, Esau, there's infighting, there's fighting amongst them, and there's hatred amongst them. They don't even love their own brother. They don't even love their own selves. So for your violence against the children of Israel, your brother, your neighbor, for coming and removing the landmark, for spilling blood, all right, for committing violence, okay, for taking and coveting all our possessions, our coveting our heritage. You went so far as turning yourself into an Israelite, so to speak, Israeli, saying that you're God's chosen people. Okay, that's how far you went to destroy us. Is that you actually beat our nationality out of us, and then took it upon yourself to call yourselves the children of God. Okay, so there's going to be a great judgment for that. And that judgment is 1,000 years of slavery, okay? And then extermination. That's why in Obadiah it says that. Let me get Obadiah 8, the 18th verse. It says, "And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame." The house of Jacob and the house of Joseph pretty much represent the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. Okay, Judah and Ephraim coming together, being one. Okay, and a flame and a fire and flame is the same exact thing. All right, so we're going to be in one accord, okay, with each other. Not like now, where there's transgenerational hatred between the nations, between the different tribes. and the house of Esau for stubble. And what is stubble? Stubble is something to be burned. And they shall kindle in them and devour them. When you devour something, you leave nothing. Nothing. You say, "Oh, I devoured that plate." He devoured his food. He left. He didn't leave anything. So that's how the children of Israel are going to be upon you Edomites, because that's exactly what you tried to do to us. You tried to devour us, and you have devoured us. Okay, you totally destroyed us. But now the Lord, He set us up. He set us back up in front of your eyes. And all these things that are, all these crimes and atrocities that you have committed against the children of Israel are coming out via the internet, or via the Spirit of the Lord, His prophets. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. All right, so when there's a house and there's people in the house, right? Say there's nobody in the house. That means there's nobody there. Nobody in the house represents your whole nation. Okay. It says there shall be not any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, He has spoken that you're going to be exterminated from off the planet Earth after you serve your hardcore bondage. So I just wanted to go into that lesson, just real quick, about Esau coveting, taking our possessions. So call halal Yah Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Harakah Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Akim out there pushing His word in truth and sincerity. I want to say shalom and death to the nigga woman.